Welcome to our short workshop titled, Tell Me About Your Poster, featuring methods for effective communication techniques when presenting to interprofessional audiences. This workshop will have 3 sections. The first will be what to expect at the poster hall. The second, how to present your poster. And last, presenting to interprofessional audiences. We'll get started with what to expect. Being prepared will make your poster presentation experience go so much smoother. We'll get started with a few tips for the day or two before your presentation. First, know where you're going. Make sure you check the campus map and know where the conference center is. The student poster hall is at the conference center at Nicholson Tower at the Oklahoma City campus. It's at the corner of Northeast 13th Street and Stonewall Avenue. The conference center is on the 5th floor of Nicholson Tower. Second, know where you're going to park and allow enough time to find parking and to walk to the building. Most students park in their regular spot on campus and walk over. Attendees who do not have campus parking can park in the Stonewall parking garage. It is marked as P4 on the campus map. Next, consider what you'll wear. While you want to be comfortable, it is often recommended to dress professionally. Scrubs and white coats are okay for those who are coming directly from clinic. Many students will also wear their name tag or student ID. Also consider your footwear, as you may be walking a while or standing for extended periods. As you're getting ready to leave the house for the day, make sure to double check that you have your poster. It seems simple, but we've all done it before. We get to the poster hall without our poster and then have to make that quick drive back to go back and get it. And in that same spirit, some poster presenters will have a handout. That's entirely at your discretion and is not required. However, if you do plan to have a handout, you need to bring your own copies. There will not be a printer or copier available. And last, review your poster again before the presentation. Make sure you remember the details of your project and what you actually put on the poster. Most presenters will even practice their elevator speech and will practice throughout the day. The poster hall is generally held in the conference room spaces or hallway. When you arrive, staff will greet you and direct you to the designated area. The space will have poster boards arranged. These are large bulletin board type displays like you see in the picture. If not assigned, you can freely pick which display you want. Posters at the end of aisles or by entrances generally do have more visitors though. Most poster presenters will arrive at least 10 to 15 minutes early to find the poster hall space and to set up their poster. There are generally no chairs or tables in the poster hall, so plan ahead to be at your poster and to not have a place for your drinks or personal belongings, although most poster presenters will put their personal items next to their display board. Once you find your board, you'll need to put your poster up. Push pins are generally already on the cork board. If not, you can ask staff for extra pins. Large posters can be very difficult to put up. You may need to ask someone to help you. And it might even be helpful to have someone stand behind you or to the side to make sure your poster is even. Sometimes the hardest part of the day is just getting your poster to hang straight. And remember to put a push pin in all 4 corners. Poster halls are generally come and go, meaning not all attendees stay for the full hour. As a presenter, though, you should plan to stay with your poster for the full hour. Attendees will freely visit posters throughout the hour. You will likely have multiple visitors during the hour, with each just staying for a few minutes before moving on to the next poster. At the end of the hour, you can wrap up your presentation. Make sure to get a picture of yourself with your poster first, but when you're ready, you can take down your poster. You can leave the push pins on the cork board. Most presenters like to keep their poster, so you may want to roll it up. It can sometimes be helpful to lay it on the floor to roll it up. Once you have all of your belongings, you'll be free to leave. You don't have to check out with anyone. Next, we'll discuss how to present your poster. In general, you'll stand at the poster board and wait for an attendee to approach you. You should greet them by saying hello and asking, "Can I tell you about my project?" Sometimes attendees will speak first and say, "Tell me about your poster," or "Tell me more about your project." You should then provide a short, concise review about your project. We call this your elevator speech. It is generally only 2 to 3 minutes in length, and the attendee may ask you questions as you speak, or they may wait till you finish. And when you're done, you should ask if they have any questions. When the discussion is over, thank them for stopping and allowing you to share details about your project. Your presentation, or your elevator speech as we call it, is the few minutes you get to spend to verbally explain your project. This is your chance to be a storyteller and to engage your attendees. They likely are not familiar with your project, so you need to speak to them as though they've never heard about your project. This should include all the key details about your project, the purpose or aim, why you did your project, the methodology, the process by which you did your project, and of course your results and key findings. You should use plain language and avoid providing too much detail at the beginning. You can always elaborate more if the attendee has questions. And remember to be excited and to speak yet slowly and clearly through your enthusiasm. Body language is actually your first step in communication. While the attendee will often look at your poster while you're giving your elevator speech, you have to remember that you are your own best visual representation. Presenters should remember to stand straight and to not have their hands in their pockets or crossed at their chest. You should make eye contact with the attendee and face your body in their direction, not the direction of your poster. And remember to allow personal space even when the facility gets crowded. You'll also want to speak clearly and loudly enough for the attendee to hear you. Poster halls can get loud, so be sure to speak in an appropriate volume. We also want you to be aware of what not to do when presenting. First, be aware of your filler words. We all have them. We may say or so, or use other pauses. This is a natural process of speech, and we all do it. However, in a professional presentation, you want to try to be aware of it and try to avoid it if possible. Next, try to stay off your phone, as hard as it can be. It can be so easy to pull your phone out when you don't have any visitors at your poster. You might want to check that email or that message you just received. But unfortunately, this will make others less likely to approach you. They will think that you're busy and they will politely stay away. When doing a professional presentation, it's routine to keep your phone in your pocket or in your bag for the whole hour. If you do need to take the call, you can step out into the hallway. Another recommendation is to avoid dramatic hand gestures. We just told you not to have your hands in your pocket, but we also want you to be mindful that you might start talking with your hands. You can still point to your poster and make hand gestures, of course. You can also move around the poster board to point out different points on your poster. You might want to point at a graph or something, for example. You don't have to stand in one place. It's just a balance of being professional yet approachable. Last of the what not to do's is the use of notes. This can include a note in your hand, or sometimes we end up even reading our own posters to people. Part of the professional poster presentation is your discussion of your work. In general, this means you know more about the project than what's even on the poster. Not using notes requires practice and reviewing your own content beforehand. So as we suggested before, practice, practice, practice. In our last section, we'll now discuss some notes for working with interprofessional audiences. Most poster halls will have attendees of various backgrounds and professional roles. Even if you have similar training or education, your project is often very specific to your area of interest. As such, remember to prepare for a diverse audience. The poster hall will likely have multiple students attending. These may be undergraduates earning their first degree, or graduate students, or professional clinical students, researchers, or any various level of degree preparation. Some students will have more training than you, and some may have less. You will need to use plain language to share information about your project. It can also be helpful to explain why your project matters to the larger healthcare community and how your findings may impact other professions. Faculty may also be in attendance and will also have various levels of experience. Clinicians, just like faculty, may be early career or may have many years of experience. And you may also have staff or others from the general public who are not engaged in health education or practice at all. As such, preparing for an interprofessional audience means being aware that there's different types of visitors that will stop at your poster. And regardless of someone else's experience or education, no one knows your project better than you. You are the expert. A key challenge in scientific communication is providing clear language to a general audience. Communication techniques to keep in mind might include 1. Using plain language. This means you avoid use of technical terms or medical jargon. You should also avoid using acronyms or abbreviations that might be confusing. An acronym may mean something completely different to another profession. Remember to use the full term or phrase when using specific language. Second, be confident. This includes the tone of your voice and your body language. You are the expert on your project. Speak with enthusiasm and confidence. Third, be prepared for questions. Listen actively to questions. This may include saying, "Thank you for that question," or "I'm so glad you asked that." You can then repeat the question or the question topic and proceed to responding. If you don't know the answer to a question, which may happen, you can politely indicate that you will have to pull additional information and offer to take their information and to follow up with them at a later time. And last, engage your audience. This can include asking their name or where they work or what profession they represent. After you've answered all of their questions, you can ask them how they think your project might impact their work or be of interest to them. You can also ask for their thoughts on how you might proceed or next steps on your project. This helps you to learn from those with different experience and training and potentially improve your own understanding. We'll wrap up with a few parting thoughts. We want you to enjoy the experience. You've already done all the hard work. This is your chance to talk about it with like-minded professionals who are interested in creating new knowledge. And be empowered to ask a lot of questions. Visit with other poster presenters and learn more about their projects. And finally, if you take away only one item, remember you are the expert. Poster presentations are your opportunity to tell your story. Thank you for participating in this short workshop. Leave us a comment if you have other suggestions we may have missed. We look forward to seeing you at the poster hall.